I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, October the 6th, brought to you in part by Noromycin by Norbrook. Noromycin 300 LA oxytetracycline injection is your effective broad-spectrum antibiotic for treating seasonal diseases in cattle. For more information, go to norbrook.com. Bears in the bullpen. We've been talking for months about all the reasons, mostly all fundamental, of course, that's what I like to talk about, that your cattle market for most all classes is going to go to the moon. And it has. We're kind of on the backside of the moon right now, but there's other things that are hurting the market too. They are mostly globally and nationally, have a lot to do with politics. We talked about politics this week, about our economy, which sucks, and those things are hurting us now that we've gotten to these elevated price levels. I mean, we're still up there, but they're knocking on us a little bit, and maybe for now this is all we can really reach on our cattle market, because we're starting to get up there, and my fear of beef becoming such a delicacy that's expensive, that your normal producers, your everyday housewife won't be able to afford to have day in and day out. That is starting to become a reality now, and that's kind of scary. The big election that's coming up, the presidential election, which is going to take a year and a half to get through, that is going to be a big thing that's going to affect our cattle market. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Our carcass in chief, Mr. Magoo, I do not see him being the Democratic nominee. That's just my own personal feelings. I think one of these mornings we're going to wake up and turn the news on and they're going to say that he had some kind of an accident during the night and bonked his head, or he had a spell or something, and we'll never see him again. And they're going to wait till we get right up close to the election, because I don't see them putting Kamala in charge for very long. But they may do it when you get right up where they don't have much more time for the election. They're going to move Gavin Newsom in, and then figure that they can get him in with a shoe-in and a little bit of sympathy, and then he's going to run the entire country like he runs California. Is that scary or what? You know, we keep talking about how we may go into a recession. I think we've been in a recession for a while. They just won't admit it. What I'm worried about is a depression. That could be something that I've never lived through. But recession's bad enough. Depression's going to get even worse. You know, they keep talking about how oil is going to get so high. You know, $100 a barrel is pretty high. But you know, we've heard them talk about it getting to $300 a barrel. If we don't get a Republican in the White House and we start drilling, baby, we may be looking at something like that. If crude oil gets to $300 a barrel, I tell you one thing, the traffic won't be too bad. I mean, you can pretty much get anywhere you need to in a hurry, because nobody will be afford to drive anymore, and you won't be able to buy anything that's delivered by truck, which is everything that we use. And the inflation-weary shoppers that go to the grocery store, they are turning to chicken more and more for their protein. Yes, they like beef more often, but you just look at the prices whenever you get in there and you're on a budget, and everybody is. And we're expecting to see the U.S. consumption for chicken to break 100 pounds per person this year. That'll be an all-time record high. And the price is at all-time record highs, because in comparison to pork and beef, it's still that much cheaper because it's nasty. And that's where you know, your people are turning to put something in. You know, the gravy's getting pretty thin. You like to have something in there to give it some taste, but a lot of our shoppers are turning to chicken. And in the packers, which it's mostly the same packers that we have on the beef side and the pork side, they've got a total control on things. They really dial back the production of chicken too to get it to all-time record highs. And in fact, Tyson, which is big chicken processor also, they have closed 6 plants this year, or in the process of closing them, at all-time record highs with all-time record consumption in a growing population. That's what your packers do, guys. They do it on all their products that they have, and they don't really care which one you eat. They're going to maintain their percentage of whatever that is. And then lately we've also heard that JBS, the Farmer's Friend, you know them, they have recently invested $22 million, which is going to take a total of $62 million in a biotech innovation center in Brazil. And Brazil is the country that is the meat king there, and they're going to put it right there in Brazil, and it's all going to be cultured protein, guys, fake meat. But it's not the crap that we've been eating, it's the crap that we haven't got to eat yet. Most of the fake meat that we've seen so far is plant-based, mostly just mashed up peas with a shitload of salt and liquid smoke on it, and calling it some kind of a protein, but it's a fake meat that nobody finds palatable. Every bit of investment that's been put into that stuff has been lost. All the stock price for all those companies that come out gangbusters thinking that they were going to turn this fake meat into something big, that has all went to nothing. But they just keep throwing money at it and keep throwing money at it, and they're going to continue to do that because they know that real protein continues to get more expensive, and this cultured product, I guess I'll call it a product, but this cultured fake protein is something that's a lot better for those people that are going to choose to eat that kind of stuff. It's going to be superior to the plant-based stuff. It's cell cultured protein, and it's grown in a petri dish basically, and it's going to have a lot of growth promotants and a lot of antibiotics in there. And you said, hey, I thought those fruits and grapes that like to eat that fake meat, they don't like antibiotics and they don't like growth promotants because you know, we're having to try to get our cattle that way. Well, try growing fake meat in a petri dish without antibiotics and without growth promotants. It can't be done. And I've told you guys before, talk to people that are really well versed in this kind of stuff, and they said they can make that stuff taste like anything they want. They can make you something that resembles a hamburger. You could take a bite out of it and you would swear up and down that it's a pina colada. In fact, beef is one of the hardest things to make that stuff taste like, but they're coming there. The reason we haven't seen it yet is because they haven't got to economies of scale yet. A hamburger costs you like 18 times what a regular burger will, but they keep throwing money at it like this, and they keep getting these innovation centers put around, and they keep spending money on it. Eventually they'll get it where it can compete with real stuff, and it's going to be a real problem, and it's not going away, guys. In fact, they had one of their global leaders of JBS make a statement, and he said the Biotech Innovation Center in Brazil, building that and spending that money and investment, he said this reinforces our commitment to cultivated protein. So no, it's not going away, guys. Let's talk about your board for Thursday. October live cattle futures down a quarter at 181.95. December down 65 cents at 185.37. Your back months were mixed from down 77 to up 37. Feeder cattle October contract down 27 cents. I guess the board likes where it's at after they cratered it this week and then towards the end of the previous week. But down 27 cents is all at 247.50 for October. November down 12 cents at 250.30. And your back months were all down from 67 cents to $1 lower. New crop December corn up 11.5 cents a bushel at 497.5, getting up there tickling $5 a bushel right during harvest. That's a little surprising. Your November beans, new crop up 7 3/4 cents at 12.80 3/4. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for December just continues the volatility, and I don't know how anybody would make a living trading that stuff without being heavy drinkers, because on Thursday it was up 24 cents at 6.90 and a half. Fat cattle trade, we saw a little bit more trade. We saw a trickle of trade Tuesday with the board breaking hard early in the week. We saw some more on Wednesday. We saw some more on Thursday. We did see significant trade in the northern plains on Wednesday late after the 2 o'clock deadline, because it showed up on our Thursday reports for the week's total. But Iowa had 2,200 head of confirmed sales on Thursday, 20,800 head for the week, so they did all that business there late on Wednesday. But your live sales, 182 to 183, that's going to be basically steady to $2 lower. And your dress sales from 288 to 290. Nebraska, 5,300 head sold on Thursday, confirmed 19,300 head for the week. Going to be a pretty big movement. 182 to 183 live, 288 to 290 50 dressed. Kansas didn't have any confirmed sales on Thursday, but 9,800 head for the week. Pretty good movement. In Texas, 700 head on Thursday, from 182 to 182.75, and 12,400 head for the week. I cannot remember the last time that Texas moved over 12,000 head of negotiated cash cattle in a week. Do I think we're getting some price discovery back? No, the market was just lower and they scrambled to get some of those cattle bought up. But 12,400 head, that's the biggest movement in my recent memory, but I didn't have my my records to go back and look through and see when the last time that was, but I know it's been well over a year. Talk about your Fed Cattle Exchange. They had active trading in their online auction there of fat cattle through central stockyards. That 182.75 that I told you we got in Texas, and you said, huh, I thought it was all 182. It was all 182. Saw a little bit of 182.50, maybe a deal or two on Wednesday. On Thursday, the 182.75 was Fed Cattle Exchange, just commodity cattle with negotiated trade on the online platform there. And you got to have competition to get higher prices, guys. That's the only way you ever gain a dollar, is with competition. And they do have that on the Fed Cattle Exchange. They also sold beef on dairy cattle in Iowa, half-bloods there at 183 on Bid the Grid in Iowa. Box beef cutout values were mixed. Choice was higher for a change, a buck higher at 297.76. Select's down a dime at 274.77. Your slaughter for the first 4 days of the week, 499,000 estimated harvest. That's 6,000 less than last week at this point, 15,000 less than the same week a year ago. Your actual slaughter information come back for the week ending September the 23rd. Said that your average dressed steer carcass weight was 918 pounds on the average. That was 1 pound lighter than the previous report. I've talked to you guys many times about performance livestock analytics. That helps you with your management, guys. And on the beef side, Performance Beef has an app that's as easy to use as your cell phone, and you can put it right on your cell phone there, guys. And that app will help simplify your feeding, your performance and health records, and put it all in one place. For more information about that technology, go to performancelivestockanalytics.com. Talk about what else is going on. We've got a new sponsor, Risk Associates, out of Nebraska, and that's Amy Mahler there. She has 25 years experience, and it's extensive in the industry of helping farmers and ranchers design cost-effective risk management strategies to protect their livelihood. Give her a call there, especially up in that Nebraska area. You're interested in LRPs and things like that, or any kind of ag insurance, and you can find her at riskassociatesinc.net. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DVAuction based on the 800-pound cash auction steer up through the middle 12 states. On late Thursday sitting at 246.47, down $1.81. CME cash feeder cattle index just continues to hang up there way over 250. You can't get that for 800-pound steers anymore. There's something haywire with it, guys. I'm going to be down here in South Texas this weekend. I got a replacement sale at El Campo Livestock Exchange. My buddy Colt Adams there. They've got that sale, him and his brother and Homer. They do a good job with that sale. They've got 1,000 head of crossbreds. Be a lot of F1 Brayfords in there, guys, for you South Texas guys and working over into the Southeast. I'm taking online bids for DVAuction. That sale starts at noon on Saturday. It's El Campo Livestock Exchange. Big replacement sale there. Have lots of bred cows and pairs. Let's talk about your big sales on Thursday. And we really didn't have any big sales. The market took such a dump, especially on the board, and then we saw our cash sale barns selling sharply lower too at the middle of the week. Guys just decided not to ship this week, and you can't blame them, and they can do that. But Farmers and Ranchers Livestock, Salina, Kansas, 1,100 head is all, had a light run. A few feeder steers steady to $2 lower. Some feeder heifers $4 higher. Winter Livestock and Pratt, about the same kind of a run, 1,100 head. And there are bigger sales that we can usually count on the trend there, but market was not well tested. I did have a few feeder heifers that had a light test of the market, and that was $2 to $5 higher. Give you some individual quotes from around. How about Eureka, Kansas? Eureka Livestock Sales. That's a DVAuction broadcaster, guys. If you're looking for a sale kind of out of the way and you want to pick around and get some cattle bought, that's one you can check on there at DVAuction.com. They sold a load of yearlings pretty high. 69 steers weighed at 816 at 251.85, guys. Another DVAuction broadcaster in central Missouri, New Cambria Livestock Auction, sold 70 head of heifers, weighed 635 and bring 270.75, and they were girls, guys. Another big heifer quote there. The most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday, it was your Mackerson, no BS, top quote for the day. Come out of Lamona Livestock Auction in Lamona, Iowa. My friend Jason Allen there, he sold some of his own cattle in a partnership deal, but they had 5 loads of yearling heifers, been out on grass grazing all summer long. Brought them in there, they were very even, top quality there. 5 loads of them. The average on the loads was 859 pounds, and those yearling heifers, all of them bring 241. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.